Welcome back, and the end of the world is nigh, and we're going camping at the end of the world.
That sounds really weird.
It certainly does.
That really does sound weird.
I believe this is more of like a factual-based video on... I don't know what his first name was, Mr. Camping.
Mr. Camping?
Yes.
Is that his actual name?
I believe it is.
Is that actually Mr. Camping? So the video, it says it's going camping at the end of the world. A video by the internet historian.
Usually well packed with information.
And people keep saying we need to do this. It's quite, I don't know, funny, if that's the right word, right way of putting it. Because obviously we're still here and the world hasn't ended. So, I don't know, we might cover some more internet historian as time goes along. So be sure to subscribe in the meantime. Let's go for it.
Oh baby, look at the size of that sponsor.
Just relax. Everything's totally serene. You're floating through a cloud. The sun is warm on your face. The end is nigh. A prophecy has been foretold. The rapture is coming. And we have the specific date. Soon the believers will rise and the impure will be left below. So repent, sinner. Repent. Get your affairs in order. Take your preparation H. That's preparation for heaven. Because the world will officially end on May 21st, 2011.
Not that long ago, really.
Wait,
what?
May 21. There's going to be a
still there.
terrific earthquake, way, way greater than anything that the earth has ever experienced, and that'll be the beginning of Judgment Day.
Harold. Our follow-on video will be the end of the world.
In late 2010, a campaign was launched to save some souls. They suited up, took to the streets. But it was more than just placards and flyers. Soon they were joined by a caravan of 5 RVs roaming the country, spreading the good word about the rapture. Thousands of people took it seriously. Many began selling their possessions. They were maxing out credit cards, taking on debt. Even the news picked up on it.
The end is near.
Advertising was put on bus stops, in subways. A big expensive billboard was put up. Then another. Then another. Then 5,000 more.
Didn't actually
In fact, this quickly became the most expensive single-event advertising campaign ever, totaling over $100 million just to tell people about a rapture on May 21st, 2011. How the heck did this happen? Harold Camping.
One person started it all.
I didn't realize it was a comedy.
So who is this hardcore gangster rapturist, Harold Camping?
Gangster.
He was one of the biggest figures in Christian media. He had a show, Open Forum, hosted by his company, Family Radio. In 2010, it was a media empire, worth over $70 million. His message went out on over 200 radio stations across the United States and many more around the world. His listenership? Millions. And when he says the world will end, a decent-sized contingent believed it.
Well, they would naturally.
Now, hold on. I can see the comment section filling up with edgy atheists and skeptics already. Listen, at first I also didn't believe Mr. Camping. I get it. There have been many people to predict the rapture before and get it wrong. But wait. Give him a chance.
I looked at all the scientific data I could find, like carbon-14 dating or potassium-argon dating.
This time, it's different. Camping is coming at you with irrefutable evidence of the rapture because he's using math. This is not just a bit, this is actually how he calculated the rapture. Jesus died on April 1st, 33 AD. Now take the year 2011. That's a difference of 1,978. We times that by 365.2422, and that gives you the number of days it's been since that, including leap years. That equals 722,449. Now keep that number in mind. Keep it in your head. Atonement. Now that's 5. Completeness, that's 10. And heaven is 17. Now we times them all together, and look at this.
What?
850. Then we square that, and that's 722,500.
Same number.
A difference of 51. 51 days plus April 1st, 2011
for crying out
equals
loud.
May 21st, 2011. You did it, Mr. Camping. You've cracked the code. And needless to say, his skeptics were left destroyed by facts and logic. Even
No
the ones who
way.
pointed out that he predicted the rapture once before in 1994 in a Louis Theroux documentary.
1994 will be the last day
94
of the
didn't
final
work, so-
tribulation period.
But shut up. He's got more to say than just the date. My boy is about to tell you how the whole thing
Not
is
that
going
he
to go
predicted that one
down.
correct.
So God's gonna snatch up all the good boys, about 200 million of us. Everyone else? Pets? Even the cute ones. So dudes, you're getting left behind. Then at 6 p.m. exactly on Christmas Island, earthquakes are gonna start doodling all over the place, rolling their way across the earth, taking out almost everyone at exactly 6 p.m. according to their time zone. Those earthquakes will then trigger gigantic tsunamis, 10 kilometers tall, and go as far inland as Colorado. Every soul left behind will be forever damned, eventually to go straight down to heck.
Well, we know.
Now, let's not go lumping
planet
everyone
can
in.
do some serious
Most Christian
damage,
groups
can't it?
did
Yes,
not
so-
believe in Harold Camping's teachings. In fact, most Christian groups don't believe in predicting the rapture at all, and even consider it a sin. Matthew 24:36 specifically says that no man can know the day or the hour. So to try and guess at it would be to go against Scripture.
Ah, yes.
Accordingly, Protestant and Catholic groups denounced Mr. Camping's claims.
May 21st, he's a follower of Harold Camping. The scriptures do not teach that. No man knows the day or the hour.
In fact, even Camping's own producer at Family Radio said it was a bad idea. But that didn't stop Mr. Camping. He saw the big churches as corrupt anyway, so he ignored them and continued charging forward with his prediction.
There's just no reason in the world, no possibility that it will not happen.
And so did his followers.
97% of the people, God will destroy.
It's like brainwashed, aren't they? Completely.
Yeah. I'm not sure yet if he actually believed it or whether he's just a really
Do you
good
think this
con
thing is
man.
getting blown up too much in the media and elsewhere?
Don't know.
Before we go on, 2 important details. Number 1, Family Radio receives most of its funding through donations, bequeathments, ads, merchandise, and sponsors, but mostly just donations.
Very close.
2, Family Radio was established in 1959. Camping is the owner and CEO, but there are 2 other chairmen on board to keep him in check.
Oh.
Or at least there were. Unfortunately, in recent years, those other chairmen were getting quite old and sick and having a tougher and tougher time telling Camping no to poor decision making. So by 2010, Camping effectively had free reign over the company,
Oh.
free reign over its messaging, free reign over its
Don't
audience,
forget you'll be dead soon.
and free
Nice.
reign over the spending.
Oh.
And he started spending like, well, like the world was going to end. The media soon picked up on the ubiquitous advertising, and the word spread further. This, in turn, encouraged more advertising, and in turn more media interest, so things were snowballing. By early May, everyone was talking about the rapture. The search term End of the World May 21st was number 2 on Google search, followed by Harold Camping, May 21st Doomsday, and May 21 Rapture, also in the top 10.
Did you actually hear about any of this? Do you remember it?
No,
It's-
but-
it actually rings a bell.
Does that?
The Doomsday bit rings a bell.
I'm just looking at the bit where you stopped it, 2004, I guess. It was quite a while.
Well, that's
He dragged
that's
this out.
2004 to present.
Yeah.
The Doomsday event was on May the
Oh
2011.
yeah, but I mean, how long did he drag this?
Well, yeah, this looked like
the
it was.
tense.
Well, it really
for?
spiked in after 2008. But seriously, I didn't know that was like. I'm not religious myself, so I didn't know that was actually a thing against religion to actually even try and predict when
No.
when the end of the world might be.
Mere mortals cannot predict that. Fair enough, I can
He
understand.
predicts something with Louis Theroux though in 1994 though, didn't they? Didn't hear what that was.
Yeah,
but
no, I obviously didn't. Well, did it not work?
I thought he said he correctly predicted something in 1994 with Louis Theroux. I can't remember what that was.
Obviously, it wasn't the end of the world then. I thought that's what he was
No.
predicting back then.
And all that calculation mumbo jumbo, I was lost on the first one. I was like, what on earth?
Well, I mean, if it didn't add up, he could have added, he could
Something
have took
else
the
to
leap
go.
year off or added something else. Can his birthday, add that on because it's not quite right.
Now, how did he get the right time? He said they wanted to get Dave to get the time. 6 p.m, no matter where you are on Earth. It has to be 6 p.m. like in America or wherever it was going to
Well,
be.
maybe that's when he started the math.
Maybe.
He
Could
was
be.
sitting there at 6
Because I
o'clock.
started at 6 p.m, it's going to start at
Finish
6.
at 6.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Seems a bit far-fetched already, if you ask me. Maybe because we're still here, Kev.
Yeah, if we weren't here, then I guess he'd have been right.
And we would have been wrong.
Traffic online was so substantial it even caused Family Radio's servers to crash. Soon, it became a bit of a meme. And the internet did what it does best. On May 19th, Operation Rapture was conceived. Okay, lads. We wake up early on May 21st and throw clothes into the street. It's going to look like a bunch of people were teleported to the afterlife, and hopefully, some of them are going to freak out. Well, they had a pretty good turnout, but it doesn't seem like anyone fell for it. Disappointingly, it seems like no one showed up for the pre-rapture orgy organized on Facebook either. Although maybe that's because the location was a bit vague. The
Streets of
festival
America.
was an event organized by the Phenomenauts. They got people together in the middle of town and filled a bunch of sex dolls with helium and attached them to balloons
As you do.
to transcend into the heavens.
That
It
confused
was
the
a
aliens
beautiful
from
moment, and it made a lot of us reflect.
Should have been a better person!
Yuck.
What?
People also tried to make some cash off the situation. They offered to buy Camping's followers' stuff on Craigslist for pennies on the dollar.
Offering to buy on Craigslist raptured people's possessions.
There was also a famous eBay auction, $100,000 post-rapture insurance for only $19.99. But one startup did do quite well,
Dog sit for those called up to heaven.
based around taking other people's pets in the event of a rapture. And I believe they still operate today.
Oh, right.
So up next, we'll show you what happened on May 21st and what happened to all those people
excellent.
who truly believed. But first,
My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick, my crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my...
ad time. Who's there?
Hello, it's me.
Oh my
Who's at the door?
god, it's Jesus. What are
Jesus
you
at the
doing
door.
here?
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that me and God have seen your Google search history and were very disappointed.
Oh no.
That's right, and now you're not getting into heaven, or the more exclusive version, Super Heaven, which features a delicious seafood buffet.
Oh no.
Yup.
Oh, how I wish I had taken the time to hide my internet viewing habits.
Well, you didn't, and now you're doomed forever.
Has this ever happened to you? Go to nordvpn.com/internet
Oh,
explorer
the way I was
to
going.
keep your website traffic anonymous.
All looks wholesome to me.
Plus, it also gives you region
To be fair,
unlocks.
it's good to leave it.
Oh,
in
hey,
there.
look.
That's
It's
it.
the
If you
UK's
wanna support the
exclusive
internet.
channels. And you
Store
didn't
it.
even pay
Yeah.
a telly license. Oi, oi, stop that. That'll be £52.09. Too late, copper. I've Brexited to Australia now, a place where no law can touch me. How much would you pay for this service? $1 billion? Literally gazillions? Not today. Get 75% off 3-year plan at nordvpn.com/internethistorian.
do
And use
like
code
my
internethistorian to get a
Looks
free
like
extra
it's
month.
up by
Which
2 years.
includes unlimited data, ultra-fast speeds, region unlocking in all these places. Also, a map of the world which is useful for things such as geography.
Wow, that's so good I might even get code internet historian NordVPN myself.
Yes, Jesus, I think that would be a good idea. Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha ha.
Okay.
Ad over.
Lovely.
Before we go on with Mr. Camping, I want to point out 2 other predictions.
Go.
In 1806, Mary Bateman also predicted doomsday. Through a chicken.
What?
It was dubbed the prophet hen of Leeds because it started laying eggs with the message, Christ is coming,
Did it
marked
now?
onto them.
Carved
Amazing.
onto them.
And it all appeared legit. Locals saw the hen lay eggs with the message already written onto them. Can't fake that. Oh my God, people said, and many more flocked to the area to pray.
I can think how that was.
Well,
faked.
Yep.
on inspection of the eggs, it was soon figured out what was going on. Mary Bateman had used a corrosive substance to etch into the egg, and then, a couple of minutes before everyone would gather around to watch the chicken lay, Mary would...
Yeah,
Oh dear.
that actually was my guess.
Yeah.
Come on, man, it's not funny. She was an interesting character, though. Claimed to be a witch, poisoned a couple that same year with a deadly pudding. She was later tried and hanged in 1809. Strips of skin from her corpse were tanned and sold as magic charms to ward off evil spirits. What the fuck am I reading? Also, shout out to 2012. Remember that one?
As December 21st, 2012 marks the end of the world.
Well, we came because it's the end of the world tomorrow, and we thought we'd better pop in here because apparently this place will be saved.
With accents like those, you would hope they'd be the first to go.
No one told us that, did they?
Okay, let's get on with it.
We weren't told that.
Let's take a closer look at some of the people who followed camping. Take Robert Fitzpatrick, 60, former government employee.
I had plans after I retired, but I put them all aside. I feel as if I've been drafted.
He took almost all of his life savings, $140,000, to have 3,000 posters put up in New York City subways and bus stops.
I'm not going to tell you I'm down to my last penny, but, you know, it's a good chunk of what I had saved up.
no.
Does it matter if you're down to your last penny, if the doomsday is coming?
No, it doesn't.
And he's not the only one. According to the LA Times, the Bauer family hopped in their minivan and drove across the country to see all of the big landmarks before it was too late, racking up thousands of dollars in credit card debt in the process.
Thinking
They
wouldn't
really
have to pay it
believed
back.
they were going to die. Worse still, the Ramsey family. The father quit his job. So did his mum. His
Did
younger
they?
brother quit high school.
Well, just
and his
used
wife
them like
Marcia thought she was never going to meet her unborn child. Some of these people's lives got pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
You don't think about that side
The
of it, do you?
day is here. It's
Put people
rapture
into
time.
lifelong
Here we
debt,
go.
that's
Oh Lord,
serious,
I'm
isn't it?
ready. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a rapture. Watch me, guys. Mr. Camping spent the day at home in quiet solace and contemplation, waiting for 6 p.m.
Okay.
But that's not what Mr. Fitzpatrick did. A confident Fitzpatrick marched into the middle of Times Square amongst a crowd of mocking bystanders, ready to prove everyone wrong.
6 o'clock.
In 3 minutes. If it does not happen, what will that mean?
I wouldn't entertain that question.
You're confident.
That's what I read in the Bible.
Here we come.
They said
In the
don't follow
Bible?
it.
I don't know.
They
3,
said don't judge and
2,
don't predict.
1. Uh-oh. Nothing happened.
It's a miracle.
And then 6:01.
He's checking his watch.
6:02. And by 6:03, Fitzpatrick's convictions turned to confusion. And it's pretty hard not to feel sorry for him.
Brainwashed.
I didn't water my plants. I didn't do the dishes before I left. I didn't expect to be going back home. But it looks like I will be going back home.
But look, just so we're clear,
demoralizing.
we're all still alive, and the rapture didn't happen. Camping was not in the same celebratory mood.
I'm ready to shoot myself or go on a booze trip.
The next day was a Sunday. People were crushed, confused, looking for answers. They showed up at Camping's church expecting to see him, but someone else was holding the congregation. Instead, Camping spent the day holed up in his house.
Give me a day. No interviews at all today.
But I'm wondering how you feel today about the
face
the
amnesia.
Yeah.
Well, I'm bewildered. I'm very bewildered, and that's all I can say right now.
On Monday, he appeared on his program. But this time, no open forum. But what he did have was a whole bunch of rationalizations. In fact, your boy was doubling down with another prediction. October 21st, 2011.
And this is it.
I'm not again.
Right up until October 21, 2011, and at that time the whole world will be destroyed.
He did it
Now I know what you're going to say, and okay, maybe he got it slightly wrong, but this time he has irrefutable proof of the rapture.
Oh, yeah, again.
Using
music.
Math. Again. So camping took May 21st. Then he looked in the book of John, which states they caught 153 fish. So, add 153 days to May 21st, making the new rapture
Who would
October
believe that?
21st. How can you argue? It's flawless. Yes, Mr. Camping. Add the fish number. You've got it this time.
This is just pathetic, seriously. So you just gone through the Bible to find just a random number about fish being caught and then add it to May the 21st.
Well, of course, what would you do when you go camping? Do a bit of fishing as well. Makes sense to me.
I'm bewildered. I really am. I would have loved to have been in Times Square when that other chap was there.
I can't believe people are that gullible. I know people have been caught out with.
It's scaremongering along with brainwashing.
It's a bit like that other video we did where people all follow the same thing, isn't it? When they hear something, they all kind of believe it. You know what I mean? That one we did.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Yes, it was something which is in the mind, isn't it? When people start dancing, other people start dancing.
When he's got millions of listeners, there's always going to be some. There's going to be a small percentage that are always going to believe whatever he says. There's always going to be that. So I don't know if this dude is still alive, but he needs
I can understand people wanting to believe in their gods and whatever, but I don't know how his maths work out. So.
Don't know, he ain't no Carol Vorderman, let's put it that way.
On Tuesday, he opened the phones on his radio show, and it was the first time that his show was ever exciting to watch.
Why didn't the rapture happen on May 21st? Don't cut me off yet. And why do you believe so much on it's going to happen another 5 months? You're really pathetic, I wasted all my money, and I sent it to you, and now I don't have nothing. I was putting my hopes in you. You understand? I wish I could see you face to face. I'd smack you right in the...
What say you now? Calling names doesn't help anything.
After that, viewership steadily declined. Now, after his prediction for October 21st, the media asked him...
Am I on cocaine?
No, they asked him...
Will you dissolve the company in October?
His response?
I am not the CEO. I'm a servant of God working here, and God is the CEO. We look to him all the time. He has 1,000 ways of getting me out of here. We have to leave that question with the Lord, not with you or with me. That's not our business. That's God's business.
And how prescient. Because 2 weeks later, he had a stroke. I do hope he gets the message. But he didn't. A month later, he was back to doing his show. And he pressed on with his new prediction. By October 16th, though, he came to his senses. He admitted that no man could know exactly when the rapture would happen, and made no statement when October 21st came and went. Finally, on November 1st, he retired from his leadership position at Family Radio. Just under 2 years later, he was dead. The result of complications from a fall at his home.
It wasn't me, it was him. Look at him. Get him.
I feel quite bad he's got away with that.
But look, I don't want to be too harsh. He was a flawed man. He messed up some people's lives.
A little bit.
But in the end, he confessed his mistakes
messing
too.
up other people's lives.
I was totally convinced, totally convicted of it, but I was wrong. I was wrong. I have sinned.
I think he truly believed the rapture was coming.
He did.
This wasn't one big grift. and everyone just kind of got swept up in the excitement of it all. So let's put a bow on it with what happened to family radio. During the Rapture campaign, family radio raised a lot of money, but not as much as they spent. As well as draining their funds, they sold off important radio stations to pay for a lot of the advertising. In the process, they greatly tarnished their reputation. They were bringing in scores of millions in revenue in 2011, but by 2012, it was down to single-digit millions. Now, this is still a substantial amount, but not when you consider their operating costs were $26 million per year. And they couldn't rely on donations to make up the windfall because goodwill had dried up. Now, with fewer radio stations and a shrinking reach, they moved to distance themselves from camping and his baggage. Shows from mainstream Christian groups that Harold pronounced as corrupt were brought into the programming schedule. They announced they would no longer air the teachings of Mr. Camping. And finally, on their website, they removed the archives of Mr. Camping's audio recordings. Okay, I've kind of bummed everyone out, but that's the end of the story. I've got nothing else to say. So here's a whole bunch of weird Baroque and Renaissance paintings.
Well, that was actually a very fascinating watch. What did you make of it? Because personally, like you just said, to say it was weird is one thing, but he did truly actually believe what was going to happen. The concern was actually what he made a lot of other people believe and what they did to their own lives in turn for believing.
That's the thing, isn't it? There's two ways of looking at the people that fell for it, isn't it? You can feel sorry for them, or you can think, well, if you're that gullible, serves you right. He obviously was convincing all the way through, but when you're in front of a camera, it's very easy to say something, and when you're at home again or relaxed, you can think what you like. But he kept the pretense going till the day he died. So,
he didn't. Did he? He said that when it was then going to come in October 2011, that he stated before, no, it isn't going to happen. There's no way I can predict it. And then he died 2 years later. But he did pretty much. I don't know if he actually apologised, but he did admit that he was wrong. At least he did that much. And it wouldn't have been exactly cherishing if he was right, would it? Could you imagine if they all stood there around all them buildings with a big earthquake or tidal waves coming in?
I can't personally see how I would get that feeling, as you say, to walk into the centre of our local town and be like, the end of the world is near. You know, it's like...
It takes some doing, doesn't it? Mentally. Yeah. You've got to be really mentally
you've got
gone.
to totally believe it. Well,
not mentally gone, but you've got to be mentally gone, haven't you?
To believe that is going to happen, I don't know. From a few maths calculations... I
wonder how many people believed the second one. Oh, by the way, there was a lot of fish caught that day. Maybe we add that on to the May 21st, and that's when. How many people believed that one?
Yeah. What else could we do? We didn't add up all the quotes and things, in the Bible, have we? We should add all them together. How many chapters there were? Put them in as well, because it might not be quite here yet. Could be next year.
Let's not talk that one up.
No.
Right. That was a long enough episode anyway, so be sure to let us know what you thought of the internet historians. Camping at the end of the world. I actually wondered what the camping bit meant. I thought it was actually meant there was camping involved somewhere, a load of people camping and having a remarkable seance or some sort.
Fishing.
And maybe catching some fish. So if you're still here, a big thank you for joining us anyway. Other than that, I don't think we've got much else to say, so we'll see you all soon.
Catch you on the flip side.